If you're a frequent PNW Haunts and Homicides listener, you probably already know we're Birdie ambassadors.
We wanted to take a quick moment to tell you a little bit more about this awesome product.
Birdie is the modern personal safety alarm made for women by women.
In a situation where you feel threatened or unsafe, you can simply activate Birdie's loud siren and flashing light to create a diversion.
Birdie is perfect to carry anytime because the device is lightweight and comes in a variety of colors.
So important. Use our ambassador link and coupon code PNW Haunts and Homicides to receive 10% off your purchase. Like our social media handles, the coupon code is all spelled out, no special characters.
You can find the link and promo code in our show notes or PNW Haunts and Homicides link tree.
Have a safe ass day. As indie podcasters, we love to show our support of other awesome shows. So stay tuned for the promo we've got to share with you this week.
Let's show them some love. You can find their info in our show notes.
Do you find crime podcasts to be a little too murdery? Then take a break from all things heavy and get petty.
Join us, Amanda and Trevin, as we share killer facts, dreadful dilemmas, and tell real-life petty crime stories in the style of an audio drama.
There, sprayed all over the aisle floor and 8 display wigs, was a fresh pile of poo. Listen to Live, Laugh, Larceny on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You guys, we're back! And don't worry, we did get more wine.
Well, of course. Hi, Cassie.
Hi, Caitlin.
Hi, creepy people.
Hello.
People.
People. I don't know why. Why'd you do that?
I don't know. I felt like I said people weird.
Oh, I was like, is it an inside joke that I'm missing that I'm just going to pretend like I know?
She just like kind of nods like, yeah.
Yeah.
I know what's up.
I get it, guys.
Yeah. I'm cool.
What is this?
PNW Haunts and Homicides.
Is it a podcast?
It is.
What?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's why you can hear us, but you can't see us.
Unless you're a Patreon. Subscribe for $1 a month.
Yeah. I have a fancy altar set up here. It's got multiple of our Christmas presents on display and something special from the Patreon Live. A couple of things, actually.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, they're going to get a good video today. They're going to see lots of cool shit.
Yes, because I will probably end up still posting some pictures of our tarot cards and things like that going into 2023, but we are going to be making some changes. I'm not really sure what all of them look like yet, so that's all I have. Just things could be different. And
we're making changes. I don't know about the changes, you guys.
Yes, you do.
I don't remember.
Kind of.
She doesn't tell me anything.
I never know what she's doing.
It's true. She's over here plotting and scheming, and I'm over there like, I don't know what she's up to.
But I do have a new deck, and it's so on brand, it almost hurts.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also has a special box that I will probably end up putting them in because, as Cassie, you can attest to, there is a gigantic spider on this box. And I've been told that the planet needs them. But I feel how I feel about them. Okay.
It's a pretty spider. It's purple.
Yeah. She has a real big butt.
Yes, she does. That's why you should like her.
That's a legit BBL, right?
Yeah.
Is that what they say?
I have no idea.
Is that what the kids are saying?
What does that mean?
Uh,
You don't even know what it means.
I'm not sure. Oh, it's Brazilian butt lift.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's when they suck all the fat out of the rest of you and they just put it in your behind.
Oh, okay.
Which sounds great.
I would take it.
Except that my ass would just be really out of this world. Literally. I'd be able to touch the moon.
Wait, what is that? What's that called? It has its own
Zip code? Area code?
I don't know, gravity.
Center of gravity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say.
Correct. All of those things are correct.
I can't even insult you right.
That's okay. You're having to walk me through this. That's kind of...
Yeah. Anyway, enough about butts.
Yeah. Well, listen, if you don't already know, it may come up again.
Probably.
Butt stuff.
I mean, we had dirty jokes in 12-year-old humor all 2022. What makes you think 2023 is going to be any different?
Yeah. We said changes. We didn't say we were changing who we are.
Yeah.
So.
Never. Fuck you.
Whoa. Anything else?
Oh, I don't think so. Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year and shit.
We're coming to you from the past. It's not the new year yet. Here where we are.
That's true.
But
yeah.
soon.
Woo!
Yay. Well,
Yay.
What do you got for us?
Okay, so this week we've got a really, really awesome, nice guy.
I think you're lying.
I am. Absolutely. Yeah. We've got a real piece of work on our hands, and I'm not even going to try to play coy anymore.
When are you ever coy?
Yeah. Because this case, honestly, it annoys me so much. And it's kind of an understatement.
Okay.
And it's not just because the cops tried to create a tie to the I-5 killer, a.k.a. Randy Woodfield.
Boo.
Boo. I'm not going to say that they bungled the case, but I'm not going to say that either.
Okay.
So
guess we'll see.
Yeah. So I'm just going to give you the brief background I've got on this literal human shit sack before diving into his crimes.
Okay.
William Scott Smith was, spoiler alert, a major dick and a complete loser, to say the least. I know. I also was shocked.
Right.
He was a high school dropout, which isn't necessarily an indicator of someone's character or intelligence, but that's not the only early red flag, well before the crimes that we'll talk about today. Now, as a teenager, I'd say that stealing beer might be viewed through the lens of a harmless adolescent act of rebellion in some cases.
Yeah, right? Who hasn't done that?
Yeah.
I mean, not us.
Yeah, I haven't. But
Of course not.
But not when the dude goes on to rack up a record of arrest and conviction for crimes of a sexual nature.
Yeah, don't put a bad name on petty crimes like stealing beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a totally different show. Hello. Live, laugh, larceny.
I kept like wanting to say Seriously Sinister. I'm like, no, don't say it. Don't say it.
Say it. Now, if he'd stopped at the 26 cases of beer that he stole from a Silverton Safeway, he probably would have been in plenty of trouble by most teenage standards, but we also wouldn't be talking about him. Again, a different show.
26 cases all at once or over time?
I'm not sure, but I'm guessing since they said specifically the Silverton Safeway, I'm thinking maybe this was like a one and done.
How would you get out with 26 cases of beer?
I don't know.
You just like backed up a truck and...
That would be one way.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, maybe.
Interesting.
I don't know. He would be convicted of menacing as well as burglary in the second degree in Silverton and Salem, respectively. In 1979, things really escalate for the first time, arguably, when he's arrested with his friend James Andrew Sexton for second-degree sexual abuse. And I know I'm not the first person to say this, probably literally even today, but the 3-name thing. So it's 2 dudes with the 3 names. Sexton is kind of a stretch, but you know there was someone in like England or Wales that his name was Sexton. So I'm counting it.
Okay.
All right, good. Glad we agree. He would end up being acquitted, but his buddy was actually convicted. That's all before the 1980s when he pops back up on the radar in Boise, Idaho for indecent exposure.
I hate that.
It's real gross.
I think it's the grossest thing. Like, look at my dick.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you kind of what at least some sources say that crime actually entailed. I believe a little bit later on in the notes here. So, yeah, it's grosser.
It's grosser than
It's
just
grosser.
a flasher.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yay. Cheerful.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. Happy New Year. In 1981, he was even questioned in the then unsolved murder of 14-year-old Lisa Chambers. So we don't love that.
No.
Although this crime was later determined to have been committed by another perpetrator, so his lucky streak continues, and so does my streak for wanting to vomit as I relay the story.
Okay.
So,
And I want to vomit listening to it.
Yeah.
So
okay, cool. It's a lot of vomit. While he's busy just skating through the criminal justice system, with the greatest of ease, William is working a series of odd jobs for a trucking company. Again, that's fine. We don't hate him for that.
No.
He was also a truck stop cook, an apprentice carpenter in Puyallup, and even a convenience store clerk. Again, nothing wrong with the jobs, just who he is while he's doing those jobs.
Yeah.
He's also a real big dude. At 6'3" and roughly 300 pounds.
Dang.
And this is significant and, well, you'll see.
Okay.
I did find in some source material that his indecent exposure, oh, here we go, Cassie. It's that thing you were waiting for.
My favorite.
Yay! That incident came about by way of him masturbating on a woman's windshield on I-5.
What the fuck?
Honestly,
What?
I feel like I just have to say like hashtag allegedly because it just sounds too wild to be true.
Like, was he on the
the
hood of the car or like what? How do you get it up onto the windshield? I guess he's tall.
Yeah, I don't know. And honestly, I just felt like I could probably dig for like police reports or something, but it's really not the crux of the story, so...
I want to know everything about it. Was she in the car?
Oh, no.
That's not bird poop.
No. Yuck. So there's another parallel or two to freaking Randall Woodfield, because the indecent exposure, masturbating, all very Randy. And then also, like, duh, on I-5. Definitely gross. Real gross.
The masturbating, all very Randy.
I mean,
it is Randy.
It is. Yeah. It's like literally his brand.
I was holding in the giggle. Okay.
And that's literally already more facts than I would have liked to learn about this douche canoe. So moving on.
Okay.
Though he would one day be described as a sexually sadistic serial killer, the first of the mysterious disappearances that took place in the Salem area wouldn't even be linked to the man until many years later. On Thursday, February 12th of 1981, 21-year-old Terry Cox Monroe stepped outside of the Oregon Museum Tavern for fresh air, notably without her glasses, or cigarettes.
Oh, not her
Yeah.
glasses.
Nope. So clearly she hadn't intended to be gone, but for a moment.
Yeah.
She's been at the Front Street bar with her coworkers from Payless.
Oh.
Freaking Payless, man.
I love Payless.
This whole case is like a fucking time capsule.
Do they have those anymore?
I feel like no.
I feel like I haven't seen one in a really long time.
Yeah, not in our neck of the woods. I can't say about other parts of the country.
Huh.
I don't
Aw.
know. Her boyfriend, Mark Johnson, was only 20, so he was not there with her that night.
Oh, yeah. He couldn't get
'Cause-
into the bar.
Yeah,
No
because
fake
drinking
ID?
age, you know.
Come on, Mark Johnson. Get
But
the
listen,
fake
this is the
ID.
80s. I have it on good authority that was a real easy thing to get.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? Am I right?
Did they even ID you?
I think they did, but
I mean,
it
yeah.
depends on the place.
Maybe he looked like a really young 20.
Probably, yeah. He's like, I'm never going to get away with it.
I can't grow facial hair.
Yeah. The couple had met because Terry worked with his sister Laura, and they all lived with the Johnsons' parents. So, super cute.
Yeah.
Little Brady bunch, happy fam.
No.
It wasn't until Laura went into work Friday and saw Terry's car that she knew something was real wrong
Uh-oh.
and reported her missing at 9:34 a.m. that morning. Terry's description quickly went out, and in this case, we're going to share it because I think she must have been quite striking. And this is kind of significant again. She was 5'11" with waist-length blonde hair.
Oh.
I know. 5'11" and you have waist-length hair.
That's like very long hair.
Get out of here, you fucking mermaid bitch. Gorgeous.
Oh.
Gorgeous. And she was exceedingly thin at just 105 pounds.
Wow.
Don't think I've been 105 pounds since elementary school.
At 5'11", that's really, really thin.
That's, yeah, like, be careful. Like, a strong gust of wind, and she would just be blown away.
Oh.
I know. Again, the weight's kind of important in this case, because, yeah.
Yeah.
At a certain point, it was suspected maybe she could have been one of the I-5 bandits' victims, but Randall had an airtight alibi.
He was murdering someone else.
No, he had been robbing one of the 3 different businesses he happened to hit in Washington State on the date in question.
Wow.
So he was like real busy, and he was pretty far away.
I mean, I'm glad he had an alibi, though, so that we could, like, find the real guy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do think that if it wasn't for that, this could have easily been one where they're like, oh, this is, close enough.
Yeah.
Like, he's the I-5 killer. Like, meh.
Just throw it in there.
Yeah, exactly. But before any of us gets too excited that maybe this story won't be quite so dark after all, sadly, her body was found just over a month later on March 15th. It was located just 3 miles downstream from the tavern she'd been at weeks ago in February.
Oh, wow.
Her cause of death was determined to be homicidal asphyxiation, which was kind of a new phrasing. I haven't really come across. I mean, you hear strangulation or
Yeah.
just that string of words. I don't know, that just hit different. I don't know why.
Yeah.
A reward fund was set up, but as we've alluded to, the case would remain cold for many years. 31 years, in fact.
Jeez.
Yeah. So just imagine basically almost my older sister's entire lifetime.
Wow. Like your older sister.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
My non-existent older sister.
Kayla doesn't have a sister.
I don't have a sister. No. Now, aside from Randall Woodfield, there's a key player from his case that makes an appearance in this story as well. DA Chris Van Dyke.
Okay. I remember
Mhm.
this guy, the Van Dyke.
Right.
Yeah.
Very no-nonsense guy, though. He was dubious about the involvement of a man named Lawrence William Moore. in her disappearance.
Okay. Are you going to tell us why?
Yeah. He made headlines for perpetrating a shooting in that tavern from which she went missing just months later in May of 1981.
Okay.
So, like, what the fuck is going on at that tavern?
They need to calm down.
Right? It's got like a real Chilkoot Charlie's kind of vibe.
What are they serving?
Yeah, seriously. Mostly alcohols. I'll have one alcohol, please. Now, obviously, he was garbage too. And unfortunately, lightning really can strike as many times as it wants in the same place because the two events are wildly unrelated. But, science.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, one was a shooting and one was a missing girl, and they didn't, or a woman, and they didn't know what happened to her. So
right,
it could have been connected, but
yeah, it definitely could have been. I mean, I think that if someone goes missing, their body is found a month later, and then 2 months later, there's a violent shooting where multiple people are killed at that same bar. Yeah, I mean, you're right to look into it. So,
definitely look into it.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, I think what's interesting, though, is that he was really good about making public commentary about when those types of events happen, where he was really good about laying out for people, hey, guys, correlation, not causation. Or, sure, these things happened in the same place, but they're not linked, essentially.
Okay.
So I like that.
Yeah.
I like that in a DA.
Yeah.
And a Van Dyke. Okay. Then, thankfully, the area gets a little bit of a respite. But of course, it doesn't last. Because
why would it?
No, exactly. Yeah. Did I mention he's a sexually sadistic serial killer?
You did.
Yeah. Okay. Thought so. Cool. I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. On the evening of Sunday, July 4th of 1982, a pastor comes across a Domino's delivery vehicle abandoned on Far Agate Street. Pizza boxes scattered on the ground.
Oh, were there pizza in them?
I believe so.
That's like a random detail I didn't need to know, but
I think it's really funny that you honed in on that because I did a lot of reading specifically about the pizza box, like details about that.
Weird.
Yeah. It is really interesting. It's not insignificant. So,
okay.
Yeah. He called police at around 10:20 p.m. because he thought it was odd that the vehicle was still running, with 3 of the boxes the driver was intended to deliver scattered so close by.
Oh, no.
So again, that's, it's one thing if the boxes are just still in the car, but like if you're a pizza delivery person and your car's abandoned and the pizza boxes are like scattered on the ground around your car, like it starts to look bad real quick.
Something happened.
Right. It definitely seemed like there were signs of a struggle, despite the fact that many sources I read said there weren't. But I'm sorry, do you think there will be a sign that just says a struggle occurred here? Like, what are they looking for?
Yeah. The pizza boxes on the ground look like kind of a struggle to me.
Yeah. I mean, same.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe they were looking for something a little more on the nose, like a bloody knife and I don't know.
Like a torn shirt or a missing shoe.
Yeah, something like that. So some of those more obvious signs weren't there, but yeah, a struggle occurred here.
I would say it's a firm, probably a struggle.
Yeah. Props us. But this wouldn't be the only report that would come in on the abandoned delivery vehicle. So more than one person is reporting this. Obviously, to me, that kind of raises questions already because people that are coming across it in a pretty rural area are like, what? This doesn't seem right. I'm going to call this in.
Yeah.
Which, thank Christ, because
someone's paying attention.
Yeah. The shit sandwich of the whole situation was that Sherry Irely hadn't even been scheduled to work that evening, and now she was missing.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Another man in the area had also happened upon the scene and alerted authorities on his way home from a fireworks display. Though it was an unlit gravel road off River Road, which we have talked about in South Salem, he too thought that there appeared to be signs of a struggle because apparently he's a genius. Sherry, like Terry,
Oh.
right, was a very thin young woman. Though she was quite a bit smaller in stature at just 5'2", she was about 100 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. At 18, she had just graduated with honors and was working part-time. She was living in her first apartment with her cousin Cindy, which is just fresh.
Oh.
Sherry was born December 6th of 1963, and though she hadn't decided where she would attend college, she was a young woman that had what appeared to be a bright future ahead of her. The call for the order that took Sherry out to this isolated stretch of rural road came in around 9 p.m. Sherry reportedly leaving with the order in tow around 9:30. The caller, Dunbar, which is obviously a made-up name,
Interesting.
was very familiar with not only the menu, but clearly also specific employees, as he requested a delivery driver, stating she had delivered to him before and that she drove an orange VW.
How did he know she would be working?
Well, that delivery driver was not working on the evening in question.
Oh, okay.
So off Sherry went.
Oh, damn it.
I know.
Oh, that sucks.
It gets worse. It's just so much about this,
Imagine being the other girl who was supposed to work. Holy shit.
right? The address was outside the usual delivery area for the store, but it was a very slow night. Police would later discover that both the name and address associated with the order were fake. The delivery location isn't even a residential address, and the individual obviously did not exist.
Wow.
The callback number was for the city center motel. So what's interesting about this is typically, because they have to make sure it's within their delivery zone and all of that, Domino's was supposed to have a system for like verifying that these are actually like residential addresses. I don't know at what point in time that was kind of established, but obviously that didn't happen in this case. So it's like, even though she wasn't supposed to be working, even though this address wasn't in their delivery zone, I mean, just what the fuck?
Ugh.
She just was not supposed to be there.
No,
You know what I mean?
Not at all.
It's just fucking terrible.
So many things failed.
Yeah. No forensic evidence of any significance could be found at the scene beyond what was presumed to be Sherry's Domino's hat and a footprint about 500 feet away from the car. Sherry's family, desperate to find her, hired dowsers and specifically trained dogs to search the area, but to no avail.
Oh.
There were two vehicles that had been seen in the area that evening. A 1973 or 1974 dark-colored Monte Carlo and a mid-1950s to 1960s lime green pickup with mag wheels and lights on the roll bar.
That sounds very specific.
Yeah, my next line, which, if you ask me, I mean, today at least, both sound fairly distinctive.
Yeah.
Maybe there were a bunch of those on the road back then.
I doubt
I don't
it.
know.
Lime green.
Right? The day after her disappearance, the Domino's where Sherry worked would receive a ransom call. But whoever placed it made no attempt to actually collect the money.
That's weird.
Yeah. Also, if you are one of these like ransom or kidnapper hoax callers, literally go fuck yourself to death.
Yeah.
And that is all. This information was not released to the public at the time, and it seems fairly likely that this might have been some asshole perpetrating a cruel hoax. Even an episode of Unsolved Mysteries, airing multiple times, and a $20,000 reward couldn't produce any viable leads in the case.
Wow.
That's not to say that tips didn't come in for the disappearance. And cue the facepalm.
Uh-oh.
The Marion County Sheriff's Office received multiple calls from mediums and psychics,
Oh, okay.
which
Yeah.
I have feelings about.
Yeah.
I have particular feelings about this instance.
Great.
Daryl J. Wilson, again, Daryl J. Wilson, for those of you in the back, became a potential suspect thanks to some gung-ho psychic investigator named John Catchings. John Catchings. This was based on a wild hunch from a dream.
Okay.
He insisted that Sherry was not missing, but dead.
Okay.
And of course, that was correct. He believed, however, that Sherry had been killed in an attempted abduction by someone she knew that lived in a white house. Aside from this latest tip and the lime green truck, there wasn't much to go on.
Oh.
So they went on that.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Daryl drove a lime green truck,
Oh, no.
which he repainted a short time after Sherry's disappearance.
That's even worse.
Looks real bad.
That looks real sus.
Admittedly, looks pretty bad. But Daryl stated he had an alibi. He was camping out in the Elkhorn Lake area that night. However, authorities could not corroborate the alibi for key chunks of time on the date in question. No one could verify his whereabouts during the window of time that she had disappeared. Seems weird, but it wouldn't be the first time that a serial killer would ditch a camping trip or some sort of group outing to commit a crime, thinking that gave them an airtight alibi.
Yeah.
Wilson died by suicide the same day that he was questioned,
Oh.
which, and this is just the fucking, just the cherry on top, which many interpreted as a sign of guilt.
Yeah.
But again, guys, super not our guy.
Oh,
Like
no.
1,000% not going to be our guy.
Did he just like not want to deal with it or?
He was probably already dealing with some mental health
Yeah.
issues, and the town really turned against him, obviously, immediately. And actually, the suicide, of course, made that worse. He wasn't around to experience that, but he was basically, you know, he knew that everybody was going to turn against him. And predictably, you know.
Yeah, that is so sad.
It's really sad. Really, really sad. But of course, this wasn't quite the end of the story. On February 19th of 1984, 21-year-old Rebecca Darling
No.
was working the graveyard shift alone at a convenience store on River Road North, which we have talked about before.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Circle K that she was working at. Her boyfriend also worked at a Circle K on the night shift at another location on State Street. The two lived together and had last spoken at about 3 a.m. in the early morning hours the day she went missing.
The witching hour.
Right? The previous worker on shift said a man had come in asking after her. A composite sketch of the man that she described was run in the paper. This man was a white male in his mid-20s and was about 5'7", with reddish-brown hair and a mustache. He had brown eyes and was about 160 pounds.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't even think I need to say it.
Again, not our
guy.
guy.
Not our dude.
Okay.
And what's interesting about that is it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, how many creepy dudes are all of these women encountering that there's...
A billion a day.
Yeah. Basically. So that's the takeaway.
Welcome to being a woman.
Men are trash.
Not all of them.
I mean, listen.
You don't want to piss off all our male listeners.
Yeah. Sorry to the three of you. Rebecca's family had moved to Texas, and though she still remained in the area with her live-in boyfriend, it's said that she didn't feel very comfortable working the night shift alone. Supposedly, she had been bothered by a man that approached her, stating she looked like his wife that had passed, even bringing in photos that she had to agree she bore a resemblance to.
That's so weird.
Major creep factor there, but again, not our guy.
Don't do that, guys.
This is just what it's like to be a woman. So you're welcome. At 3:20 a.m., a customer's statement confirmed Rebecca had in fact been in the store. So this is pretty crazy because we've got like a 3 a.m., roughly phone call. 3:20, there's someone that can say like, at 3:20, I was in that convenience store. She was there. We've got a like pretty tight window here.
Yeah.
Which is important because about 30 minutes later, Rebecca was gone when the next customer came in to find the store empty.
Oh, that's so eerie too.
Her purse, coat, and even car keys, as well as her vehicle, were all left behind. So...
not a good sign.
No. Rebecca was 5'10" and 160 pounds with long brown hair and eyes. When she was last seen, she was wearing white bib overalls, a Circle K t-shirt, and tennis shoes. Her body would be found about a month later. She was found with her wrists bound, naked from the waist up, and sadly, she had been strangled. It was a farmer that discovered her body on March 25th, partially decomposed and only partially clothed, her body mostly submerged in the Little Pudding River near a bridge.
Did you say Little Pudding? Why? Oh, I don't like that.
Because of decomp, very little could be told about the body initially, including race, age, or even gender at first.
Oh boy.
Then, in a show of truly underwhelming corporate responsibility, Circle K announced plans to increase security on April 18th, just weeks later. Can I just say it? We're all thinking it. It's just, oh boy, too little and far too late.
Yeah, it is. But it was the 80s, right? Still?
Yeah. Come on, guys. Have we learned nothing?
At least, I mean, did they do it in a timely manner? Get the security?
I'm not sure.
It wasn't like years later that they finally did it.
Listen, especially in Salem, how many killers have we already talked about that have...
Yeah.
No, man.
Don't break your crystal over
I
there.
know. I feel like I'm like, okay.
She's gonna snap it.
Gently. Clearly, William was beginning to think he was just going to keep getting away with these crimes. But he was about to unwittingly make a mistake that would change his luck, because they always fucking do. On April 7th of 1984, police would find the abandoned vehicle of 18-year-old Catherine Redmond. She went by Katie, and since we're all friends here, I'm going to call her by that.
Yeah.
Also, like Caitlin's and Catherine's and all that, like, we're cool like that.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
the car that Katie was driving actually belonged to a Willamette University professor who had lent the car to his daughter.
Oh.
That's where this gets so dark. Because most of us are familiar with how dangerous a college campus can be for a young woman. But we never expect that if she makes it back to her car, she won't be okay at the end of the night in most cases. She had last been seen at a campus frat party shortly after 2 a.m., which of course makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up, and I'm like, what is this guy doing hanging out at frat parties?
Ooh.
That's not what happened though.
Okay.
She had been at a Beta Theta Pi party near State and 12th Street. So, I got the cross streets and everything. So, I looked at the map.
Yeah, totally.
She was almost done with her freshman year of college and had pledged Alpha Chi Omega. She was living in a different sorority house, it sounds like, on Mill Street. She didn't have that far to go.
Oh, no.
And honestly, it just reminds me of Krebs.
Ew, Krebs.
Yeah, Rex Allen Krebs.
Ugh.
So eerily similar. I mean, decades apart. But just yuck. Well, I don't know if it was decades apart. Whatever.
There was a certain amount of time apart.
Yes. Oh. If you look at Google Maps from point A to point B, that's less than 3/4 of a mile in the area, right around Willamette University in Salem.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not far.
Not far. The green two-door Datsun was left on Cordon Road and State Street, again with the engine running, the driver door ajar, and her purse was still in the car. This was just shy of 4 miles down State Street from the university.
Oh.
Word spread quickly on campus about her disappearance, causing a spike in requests for campus escorts.
Oh, wow. Escorts.
Mm-hmm. Because fucking duh, no one is going to feel safe on that campus for a while when something like this happens.
Not at all.
Like, just like a 5-mile radius around campus is,
Yeah.
yikes.
Ugh.
Sadly, just 4 days later, she was found less than a handful of miles away from where Rebecca's body had been discovered, and in a similar state.
Ugh.
Ah, but now, for this fool's fatal error.
Finally.
I know, God. Witnesses had seen a late 1960s Pontiac in the area around the time of her disappearance. Later, another account would be relayed from a woman who had presumably encountered that same driver, the Pontiac.
Okay.
This woman had been in a collision with the driver who had then tried to convince her to accept a ride with him, but she had declined.
Good.
I know. The police would learn that a tow truck had been called for on April 7th from that very same area. And guess who called for it, you guys? You're never going to guess.
Who was it?
Anyway, this totally anonymous asshole station wagon was spotted in a ditch nearby also. There's that. And he was tracked down when investigators began contacting the tow companies. It turns out it belonged to a Silverton man who paid by check.
It was the 80s.
William Scott Smith. A fucking time capsule of the 80s. He paid with a check.
Ancient artifacts.
Yeah, seriously. If you have a check anymore, they're probably a collector's item.
What's a check?
What's a check? Katie's shoe was found about 40 feet away from where his vehicle had been stuck in the ditch.
Weird.
It was an example of almost immediate and perfect karmic justice. Her body had been discovered by a state trooper about 400 yards away from where the vehicle had been towed.
Huh.
This was on a Wednesday, just 4 days after her disappearance. Now, despite the fact that she was found so close to his vehicle, her body was in a somewhat wooded area. Katie's body was nude, but her clothing was found about 15 to 20 feet away from her body.
Okay.
I'm guessing the only reason she wasn't found sooner was that blackberry bushes obscured view of the area from the road. So,
yeah. Damn
Not a-
blackberry bushes.
I know, not a lot of people traipsing through those unless
No.
they gotta. She had indeed been sexually assaulted, and her cause of death was listed as traumatic asphyxiation, which basically means that she had either been strangled or smothered.
Okay.
And I don't know. I hate both.
I don't like any of it.
Mm-mm. Again, 4 days later, she's about 4 miles from Willamette U. Also, coincidentally, about 4 miles from where Rebecca's body had been discovered. We're feeling the harshness of the 4s in this case. If we get in our reading a 4 of any suit that just even has a road in the background, I'm gonna need a minute.
Come on, universe.
We'll get there when we get there, but back to more important things for now. Initially, it looked like he might have had an alibi. But it fell apart when the investigators learned that none other than William Scott Smith was actually questioned by police in the area of the crime scene within mere hours of our good friend Katie's disappearance.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was trying to say he was like too far away, hours, yeah. No.
Idiot. They already
Idiot.
talked to you.
Yeah, like literally. I mean, what really would have pissed me off is they didn't even realize that another set of cops had questioned him. Oh, God.
Yeah. I could see that happening, but it didn't. It didn't happen.
It didn't happen. It didn't happen. I feel like this is one of those situations where like your boyfriend cheats on you in a dream and you get pissed off at him. That's how I feel right now because I'm like, you fucking idiots. You so could have done that. And they're like, but we didn't. And I'm like,
The dream you did.
yeah, I had a dream you did. What's weird in this case is they actually looked into the possibility of the Green River killer being the perpetrator.
Oh, they're looking at a lot of different killers
Yeah.
here.
But it was dismissed relatively quickly. Still, it's just so odd to see a largely unknown serial killer and rapist mistaken for multiple other, more prolific ones. In actuality, Smith, the prime suspect, was a temperamental, unemployed, high school dropout that lived with his father and stepmother, which would all be fine things to be if he wasn't a rapist and a murderer. We've all got our stuff, but that's just too much baggage, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
And yes, I did just shame him for being like a less famous serial killer.
Good.
Yeah.
Do it. Shame it.
On April 26th of 1984, William Scott Smith was arraigned for 2 counts of murder. He waived his right to a jury trial and was convicted.
Wow.
Yeah, which you don't really see that a ton. But I love it, personally.
He's like, these people are going to fucking hate me.
Yeah. And the judge is like, I do too.
Yeah.
He wouldn't confess to the murder of Terry until October of 2012.
Holy shit, why?
31 years. Because he's a dick. In total, when all was said and done, William Scott Smith would receive 4 life sentences, which somehow doesn't seem like quite enough, but at least there's one less serial killer on the streets of our state's capital.
Yeah.
Yay. Tarot? Tarot?
Tarot. All right. Tarot time with Caitlin's new deck.
Yeah.
Featuring Caitlin's new deck.
I'm not very good at the Vanna.
Yes, you are. Pacific Northwest Tarot. See the pretty purple spider? Mm-hmm.
I can't touch it.
It's so cute. And then the back of the cards have like, what are those, pine cones and things?
Yeah.
So cute.
Foresty stuff.
All right, Caitlin, do you want to shuffle?
I'm going to try.
You can shuffle these ones.
I don't know.
They're thin.
I
She got
know,
this.
but my hands are so freakishly small. Okay. That's
Beautiful.
much better. It's literally just on the corner of the frame if you are on the Patreon watching the video. If you've desperately been wanting to see me shuffle.
Shovel?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Still needs
Hey,
some work.
at
I
least
also
she's
have
not-
short arms.
She's not mixing fronts and backs. So
Yeah. So there's that.
she's doing better than me. And I shuffled a bunch before, so I just
Yeah.
wanted to torture her a little bit.
I had Cassie do the pre-shuff. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I found. Okay. All right. Okay. We're going to see. Oh,
Oh, we got
they were
2?
stuck together. Yeah. They're
Oh.
both wands. So
Okay.
here, I'll hand those to you. I don't
7 of wands and 3 of wands. How I tricked you. You thought I was going to say 4, but I didn't. But 7 minus 3 is 4. So numbers.
That's almost worse.
And the 3 was reversed.
Yes.
My bad. Okay. So the 7 has what's this, a mountain goat? Like at the zoo.
I always want to say ram. Like, I don't know if that's technically.
I think it's a mountain goat.
Okay.
And then, is this a hawk?
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
hawk.
that's a hawk. Okay. So we're going to go to, the 7 of Wands on page 74.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Now I just feel like I'm going to.
I turned to the 10 of wands and it's on page 42.
Ah! All right. So 7 of Wands, and we have that in the upright orientation. Our keywords are courage, fighting for what you believe in, facing challenges. When the 7 of Wands appears in a reading, you may need to stand up for yourself and fight for what you believe in. Challenges confront you, but you possess the resources to succeed. I think of this as the don't give up card. When this card appears, you may need to fend off competitors or enemies to achieve your objective. Okay. I'm going to have to noodle that because I feel like, is that commentary based on the fact that I was bad-mouthing him? Even if the challenges are formidable, you can overcome them. The 7 encourages you to stay strong and focus your will to win the struggle. So I feel like that kind of goes along with the investigation,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah. And they used the word struggle too, which you used.
Mm-hmm. Okay, in a reading about money, this card tells you to hold firm in a financial matter, even if things appear difficult at present. Avoid arguments about money or possessions. In a reading about work, the upright 7 advises holding your ground. Try to keep your spirits up and don't show weakness. Keep working diligently for what you want. Don't let other people distract you. Literally, don't let other people distract you.
Yeah, because there were so many different suspects, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. It does relate.
In a reading about love, this card recommends trying to work things out with a partner instead of squabbling. It may seem easier to just give up, but if you keep a positive attitude, you can resolve difficulties. So that's interesting. I don't know how applicable I feel. I don't know. 4 of Wands, our keywords are success, comfort, prosperity, reaping rewards, and celebration.
Is this the 4 of Wands or the 3?
Oh, do we get the 3 of
We
Wands?
got the 3 of Wands.
Oh,
yeah.
boy. I went to 4 of Wands.
I know, because I said I
Holy
almost tried to
crap.
say 4, and then I said 7 minus 3 is 4.
I'm like, it's a 4. It's a 4.
It is a red-tailed hawk, FYI. It tells you in the book.
Party. So our 3 of Wands keywords are creativity and skill, self-expression, growth, competence, and manifestation. Now is the time to show the world what you can do. I hate that.
Yeah, please don't show me anything from you at all.
Oh, it gets so much worse. You've worked hard to develop your talents and have confidence in your abilities. It will be short-lived.
Mm-hmm. It is in reverse.
You feel passionately about what you do and believe you can inspire others. Express yourself. Okay, so the reverse. Oh, there's an extra excerpt before the reverse interpretation. It says, hidden alliances work to move you into your authentic vocation as soon as you begin to commit to it. We talked about his jobs and then I don't like it. Feels icky.
Yeah.
In the reverse, it says you still have work to do before you go public with your ideas.
Okay.
Perhaps you could benefit from honing your skills.
No, don't hone your skills.
I mean, he didn't, so I feel like this is
That's
pretty
true.
apt.
Yeah.
Some areas of an undertaking will still need clarification, or you may need to win the support and blessing of others in order to advance. Ew. In a question about money, this card can mean the financial support you need isn't there at this time. You might have to work extra hard for a while to make ends meet. Be prudent in your spending. Or just live at home with your dad and stepmom.
Yeah.
In a reading about work, the reversed 3 suggests you're not ready yet to market your project/ideas. You feel passionately about what you're doing, but you still have to convince other people to get on board. For artistic people, this card advises, don't give up on your day job yet. So probably just stick to being a cashier. Am I right?
Yeah.
In a reading about love, you may feel strongly about a partner, but aren't ready yet to make a commitment, or the other person may not be as emotionally invested as you are.
I wonder if he
Gross.
I don't know. I'm totally speculating here, but I'm wondering if that's what triggered him or something.
Maybe.
He couldn't tell a girl that he liked her, and then he just went and fucking murdered a bunch of people.
I don't know.
Arr.
I'm looking at the 4 in reverse. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, we were meant to get the 3 as opposed to the 4 because it says, even when the 4 of Wands is reversed, it's still a positive card. Yeah. I feel like that could make sense in insofar as that they did end up, obviously, despite all of these things that were like potential distractions, right? They were able to solve this. They were able to identify the correct person, even in a case that was 31 years old.
Yeah.
3 + 1 = 4.
Oh, God, weird.
Wow. Okay.
Well, cool. I like this new
Interesting.
deck.
I do too. It's really pretty.
But do we have anything else to show them?
We do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do we have?
Show them.
Who's on it?
We are.
It's us. Oh, my
Okay.
God. Open
So
your
since this is an audio medium,
Oh, right.
this is the 2023 True Crime Podcast Calendar. Oh, I turned right to us, as
Oh,
luck
weird.
would have it. So yours truly, we are on February. And then there's a couple of other very important dates where we happen to pop back up on the calendar, such as in July,
Our
our
birthdays.
birth dates.
And I feel very offended that they put a certain smug mug on our month when we said #never.
Okay, but you can't be P&W Haunts and Homicides and be assigned the month of February. And that, as luck would have it, the day after Valentine's Day, 1978, is the very same date that Ted Bundy was captured. So
Yeah.
I can live with that.
I mean, at least it was when he was caught. So,
Yeah.
you know. But was this before or after he escaped? How many times?
Oh, Lord. Yeah, no. He, like, capture is all relative, right?
Right.
Okay, you got to show them your little goodies.
So I got Caitlin got me a snowflake obsidian.
She purdy.
Didn't you buy this before you knew I was going to talk about it?
Mm.
Is that what you
No,
said?
it was right after your
okay.
case. The funny thing is, it wasn't that I didn't know you were going to talk about it. We had just talked about it, and I was shopping and I was getting something else for you. And this popped up, like a little pop-up that said, do you want to add this to your cart?
Okay.
If you go through on their, website at the time that I was making the purchase, you couldn't just buy a snowflake obsidian.
Oh,
So like it popped up as an add-on. Like it
interesting.
knew.
It knew.
It
It was
knew.
listening probably to our episode.
Probably. I had this guy. It's a howlite, witch's broom and hat. She's
It's
so
so cute.
pretty.
I saw it and immediately thought of you. And
Yeah.
I had to get it.
You were like, that's witchy, but it also screams, calm the fuck down. Something you desperately need. I love her. We're charging her on the selenite plate right now on the
Mhm.
altar.
Yes.
So I have to narrate it.
Is there anything else we need to show off? Any cool stuff?
We probably have more, but I think we can fit that in somewhere else. That's enough of the business. It's time to wrap it up. We got other stuff to do today.
We do. We
Yeah.
do. It is New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
So we're going to be partying tonight.
Yeah. Party hardy.
Yeah.
If we survive, we'll see you next Tuesday.
Right.
All right. Should we do this
right.
thing?
Yeah.
Have a creepy ass New Year.
See you next year.
So, for all of you that are listening, if you have any true crime or paranormal stories that you want us to share, maybe with the whole Pacific Northwest.
Yes, we would love to read them on the pod.
Yes, we will read them out loud.
Not just in our heads.
Yes. They don't have to be from the Pacific Northwest. If you would like to share, email us at pnwhauntsandhomicides@gmail.com. It's all spelled out, no special characters. Super duper easy peasy.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Same thing as the email at PNW Haunts and Homicides, all spelled out, no special characters. Please also rate and review us on whatever platform you're listening to, and check out our stories on social media because our meme game is hot.
Agreed.
And if you agree, like Caitlin, you can also find us on Patreon and support the show.
Bitchin'. To
We
wrap?
need a tarot deck that's carrot, so it could be tarot.
Carrot. Listen, you know you can't say that word in my house.
Oh, shoot. Are they looking at me?
sleeping?
Oh my God, did I wake them up?
No. Okay.
Her dogs love the C word.
Yeah. They do. Yeah, they do.
Oh,
The pod dogs are sleeping, so they didn't hear it.
thank gosh, I would have felt so bad.
Well, we do have a lot of them, so you would just had to have given them one. And then you'd be best friends forever.
So we cannot get the C word deck because you will be saying it too much. You'll have to buy the Costco packs of carrots.
Yeah, exactly.